My guest tonight reached superstardom by becoming one of the first bands to benefit from the power of MTV. Do any of you remember the early days of MTV? I do. Their hit videos, Rio, Hungry Like the Wolf, and Save a Prayer, became the blueprints for what music video junkies take for granted today. Over the past 20 years, their 11 albums have gone on to sell in excess of 60 million copies. Their newest CD is called Pop Trash. The first single, Someone Else Not Me, is my very favorite. Take a look at this. Please welcome the original pretty boys of pop rock, Duran Duran. You must take your seat, Simon.
Hey.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
They just had a birthday. We should sing, should we sing Happy Birthday while we're all here?
Oh, that was a while ago. I had that birthday.
Bill, I think we should sing it anyway.
I think we should sing it anyway.
Yeah.
What do you say?
I'll start.
Okay, you start.
Okay, right.
Happy birthday to you.
Cha-cha-cha.
Happy birthday to you.
Cha-cha-cha.
Happy birthday, dear me.
Cha-cha-cha.
Happy birthday to you.
Cha-cha-cha.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm a birthday sucker, so we had to do that. You know what, I do want to talk about the new CD a little bit. How do you think that it reflects the experience and the growth of Duran Duran right now?
Well, you know, we've now got a 20-year history, I guess, so you've got a lot more to draw upon. And I think for songwriting that helps a lot. You look at things a little differently, and we've learned how to arrange songs, produce them, and write them.
Yeah, every time we make a record, you know, we set a new standard. You know, when we did Ordinary World in '93, that became like the kind of the benchmark. It's like, okay, we have to look at that song now. You know, the next one has to be kind of on that level. We don't want to go below that. We want to try to adhere to that kind of a standard.
A lot of things have changed as well. You know, when we started off, it was an incredible experience. It was all new. Just going into a recording studio was an amazing thing to happen. And you had I used to get a buzz off a whole bunch of different things.
Oh, we all
and a
did
lot
in
of
the
those,
80s.
and a lot of those, but a lot, you know, we've left a lot of those things behind. The one thing that stayed with us is our love of music, you know. And I think that's actually the most important thing.
You know what, you've been incredibly blessed in your career because it seems that you've been able to, you know, go up and down and here and up and
we would like to just go up and
blessed
up and
is
up
like
and
this.
up and up.
Yeah,
Cursed
no.
is like that.
Well, but you haven't done that.
No.
I mean, and the interesting thing is it's almost as if every time you make an album, I mean, people like to call it, you know, comeback or this, but not really. You've never gone away.
Yeah, but I think you've really got to sort of, you've got to look at it in its reality, and that is, I think the reality of it is your presence in the consciousness of a society, basically. And if you write your own songs and you go away and make them, maybe you've got 2 years between albums. You can't have the presence there in the media that you did when you first started. So to all intents and purposes, you have disappeared. And when you release your album, to most people, it's a comeback.
That's where carrying handguns comes in handy. It keeps you in the media. we're not handgun toting types.
Yeah, exactly,
you know?
exactly.
Right.
You need to find things to do to fill up the off time in between records,
Exactly.
right?
That's what we'll do for the next record.
Yeah. You know something, why do you think your fans, though, are so loyal? Because there's no end to people here in the studio today, you know, really. I was saying, we know all of the words to every song, and it's almost as if, you know, you're here and we're just as excited as if it were last week, and it feels like last week.
Well, we've had a great relationship with our audience, I think. You know, they've been through us through all the ups and downs. I hope they see us as being very real. You know, a lot of bands, I think, tend to kind of hide away from their audience and ignore it. We've always had a very good contact, especially now with the internet. You know, we've been finding that we really have a one-to-one relationship. I mean, it's the most direct contact we've ever had worldwide, and that's revolutionizing things.
Also, we were able to we really connected with our music when we first came out, and it was just something about the way the songs were, whether it was the words or the tunes. It really touched a nerve with people, and it's something we kind of held on to. You know, we just managed to hold on to it. We didn't let go.
It was the videos, he said. Well, you know something.
Joking.
No,
it's all about music.
But you know what? You mean you guys really were. You know, I said at the opener of the show that it was MTV in the early days and Duran Duran.
I think you've got to look at that in the context of music, though. Really, yes, MTV was incredibly important. I mean, it was important to everybody. You know, it changed everybody's lives, and it just meant. I think it meant that we kind of broke through much quicker. Our image was received much quicker. We made an impression that much faster, like that. You know, it was we hit within like sort of 6 months, didn't we?
Yeah, but if the Beatles didn't perform on Ed Sullivan, would they have been as popular? Probably would have been, because the songs were on the radio. The songs were there.
I mean, you know, actually, we did really break through radio. I mean, that's how every song we've ever put out has become successful. I mean, Ordinary World, when we put that out, we didn't actually have a video made. We hadn't had the time, so it wasn't made until the 8th week that it was at radio.
And it exploded by then.
You know, everyone is saying the 80s are back. Vogue is saying the 80s are back, and designers are saying the 80s are back.
Boy,
and on
George
the runways.
said that to us the other night.
Yeah.
Who
I
was
said,
saying
no,
that?
it's not.
Who?
George.
Oh, no. But honestly, this is the forecast for at least the first 5 years of the year 2000.
It's a shame. I was looking forward to 2000.
Well, me too. But what about the 80s don't you miss?
What don't you miss?
Yes, what don't you miss?
Those sexually
don't we
transmitted
miss?
diseases that we were all so afraid of. That was the worst thing about the 80s. It was like, oh my God, what do I have now?
See, I thought it was just...
That's one thing nobody ever talks about in the 80s.
There you go. That's because none of us had it.
You just
know?
did.
You just did. Well, you just gave us the good.
Factor. It was the fear factor. It went from like, you know, herpes to venereal warts to AIDS, and then everybody knew you had to wear condoms.
God, Warren, I was just going to say, like,
This is
the
called
big
later.
hair and the tacky clothes.
Shoulder pads, right?
Yeah, right,
Yeah,
exactly.
but these are the things that last that I'm talking about.
You're right. Well, at least until you got the dose of medicine in you.
Exactly. Now, the things I was talking about, there was no medicine for.
Okay.
Well, you were hanging out in the wrong places, buddy. I
tell you what, there's a couple of pairs of shoulder pads that there's no medicine for as well.
Shoulder pads.
All right, shoulder pads. We got to take a break, you guys, but we'll be back, I promise you, with Duran Duran and the later list, and they're going to perform, and it's going to be fabulous. Don't go away. Welcome back to Later. Wow. I'm here with veteran rockers Simon, Nick,
Oh, I
and
don't like
Warren
that.
from Duran
I
Duran.
don't like veteran
I know,
rockers.
veteran.
Strike that from the records you're on.
I know, they wrote it, reverse that. I'm here with hot, cool, sexy rockers from Duran Duran, Simon, Nick, and Warren. Is that better?
That's more like it, yeah.
That's more like it.
That'll
It
do.
is more like it. All right, it's time for them to take a stab at the later list. Have you guys been briefed on what this thing
No.
is?
No.
Okay, it's very easy. I'm going to throw some
We
questions
said no
at you.
lists. We said to our publicist,
No lists.
lists.
Well, it's very simple. I'm
For
gonna,
you,
I'm gonna,
Cynthia.
Oh, it's simple for you. You're rock stars.
Go on, then. Go on.
I'm going to throw some questions at you, and you're going to toss some quick answers back, whatever hits you in the mind,
Okay.
in the head, or in the butt,
Dangerous when it comes
whatever
to
the
me.
case may be. All right, Simon,
Yes.
what's the first thing you did to earn $1? Oh, Simon, do tell.
a milk round.
A milk round.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess in our country that would be a milk round.
Yeah, when we have guys who go and deliver milk.
Absolutely. Nick, who's your musical idol?
I guess Lou Reed. Yeah, the first Velvet Underground album is my favorite album.
Fabulous album. Yeah. Warren, what's the most defining moment of your professional life?
When I decided to make music.
Do you remember where you were, when you were, how old?
Prison.
Oh, go on.
You know, there are many momentous moments.
When you were there with Frank Zappa and...
Actually, the most momentous moment of my life was when Frank Zappa called me up when I was in my basement playing with a bunch of my friends, jamming, and he said, "I want you to be in my band."
And you said yes, or you screamed, or...
I hung the phone up and I said, "You won't believe who that was." And I went upstairs, told my parents, and went downstairs, got back on the phone and got my plane ticket sorted out and moved out to Los Angeles from New York.
Oh my goodness. And it was all sexually transmitted diseases from there.
And guess who started transmitting them?
Yeah, exactly. You should have stayed at home, Warren.
I gave Frank lots of material, though. He likes writing about those things.
I bet. Simon, where were you the first time you had sex?
In my parents' bed. On my 16th birthday.
Oh, happy birthday to you.
That started the year with a bang.
No, straight sex. Straight sex.
Oh, I love
Strictly speaking.
That was with your cousin, wasn't it?
Frankly, Warren.
No, that was... Oh, sorry.
Warren,
Yeah?
define your sexuality in a word, since you're barking on
In a
Simon.
word.
In a word.
Animal.
Ooh.
It's in everyone's.
Oh, gosh.
No, I could describe mine. Tart.
Tarts.
That's a good one.
Tarts. Oh, Nick, you...
I'm keeping out of this conversation.
No, because none of us know. No.
Nick is newly single.
I am, yeah.
You describe your sexuality.
Okay, Nick, okay.
Answer this question.
Okay, so since you're newly single,
Your
why
ears are going pink.
don't you tell us what quality you admire most in a woman?
Intelligence.
Yeah, but they have to be 19,
novel.
around 19.
You know
I could go up
something,
a bit from there.
Nick, you know, with friends like this?
I know.
This poor guy, he's got a broken heart. You guys are ragging on him.
He's having such a great time.
You should see this little...
He is.
You should see the intelligent girls he hangs out with.
He's having a great time.
Yeah, he is.
I think there are 3 or 4 of them
bring
back
him
there.
makeup and...
Oh, well, listen.
well, see.
We have to take I hate when we have to take a commercial break. But when we get back, Duran Duran is going to...